Nigeria's inflation rate eased to 22.97% in May 2025, down 0.74 percentage points from April's 23.71%. This marks the second consecutive monthly decline and a significant 10.98-point drop compared to May 2024's 33.95%. And that's according to data released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The slowdown reflects a reduced pace in price increases across goods and services, with food inflation a major factor falling to 21.14% year-on-year, though it rose slightly month-on-month to 2.19%. Urban and rural inflation also declined annually, while core inflation dropped to 22.28%. Now, despite easing rates, rising food prices continue to impact living costs nationwide. For some perspective, we're joined from Lagos by the founder of Finance with Mokhtar Mohammed. Mokhtar, it's been a minute. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is the second consecutive monthly decline in the inflation. Is it too early to celebrate? Are we out of the woods yet?
I wish we were out of the wood. I don't think we're out of the wood. If you looked at it year on year, we could see the inflation has come down, especially in terms of food inflation, but month by month, it's slightly a little bit higher. So definitely we are not out of the wood yet. There are a lot of factors that will take us out of the wood, and those factors, some of them are not in our control, and some of them are in our control. Now, what is responsible for this? You could attribute it to a lot of factors, but I think three major factors: the steady, relatively corridor stability of the exchange rate, also stable food, and utility are stable. If you look at power and others, the price has been stable for a while. Utility food, you don't have those process that you have before. When you go, you buy today, tomorrow you go there, and the prices have gone up because it's due to relatively stable exchange rate, even if it's not what it used to be before. But compared to where we have fluctuation of almost 100 or 200, we're not seeing that again. Then the game changer is actually the PMS price that has been brought down by the Dangote refinery. So those are the major factors that have contributed. And also, you shouldn't forget the rebasing of the economy also is a tool that we are using to drive down inflation. And you know what, with rebasing, it will drive down inflation. But again, in the long run, it is what you are able to stabilize that will definitely make sense of the rebasing.
Are there any real policy prescriptions that can be made to keep this trajectory on its current path and to make it truly sustainable?
Well, number one, we have to look at the insecurity that is happening in the most of the farm areas in Nigeria, especially the northeast, north central. And now we've gotten Benue State into that frame, so we need to bring make sure that there's security in those areas, so that the farmers will be able to go to farm. That will help. Secondly, also we have to look at in terms of infrastructure. Road network and cost of funding also, especially for large-scale farming, so that they will be able to access loan on a single digit. We also have to continue to see that the exchange rate is maintained, and that today we have seen the exchange rate driving at about 500 and 1,590 in the official window, in the parallel market, and 1,570 in the official market. So that's also it's a very key factors. But again, we have other challenges that we need to deal with, especially external factors that have to do with the current issue in Iran and Iraq, Iran and the Israeli, and that also could have that could distort whatever we've achieved, because we estimated that the price of crude oil may go as high as $100 to $120, and that also will now have an impact in local refining price. But again, with the dollar to naira crude deal, that could also be a game changer to maintain price stability. And with the recent proposal by Dangote also, that also could also help in maintaining stability in price. So these are part of what would definitely be helping us going forward.
In heading into an election political season, there are Usually so many headwinds that are bound to blow in. There's already heavy politics ahead of 2027. Can this reduced inflation pass that test?
Well, if you talk about politics, you know that ordinarily we still have 2 years to the election. Normally, what we normally see is a year to the election, governance take a backseat. But this is the first time we are seeing that 2 years to an election, politics is beginning to be the order of the day. If you look at that, then governance take a backseat. Then if you looked at that, there's a lot of liquidity in the system because Nigerian political space is always largely driven by cash. And so that will also fuel inflation in one way or the other. Because again, the CBN is fighting to reduce liquidity in the system. But that also will help smaller business to also expand because some of the smaller business are the ones that benefited during the electoral campaign. So it's going to be a lot of work for the CBN if electoral campaign starts sooner than we think. Then definitely there will be a lot of issues that will have to deal with inflation. And you also shouldn't forget that sometimes most of these politicians are not also those that they already have the dollar stacked in their houses or in the banks. They have to take it to the to exchange, and so that also could also help maintain a little bit of stability in the price when we have the supply of these effects into the parallel market or into the banking space. So it all will depend on what's the strategy that the CBN want to really adapt. But if we are going by the orthodox monetary policy that they have adopted thus far, an increase in liquidity in the system will be destructive to whatever they are trying to achieve, especially in bringing down inflation.
Mokhtar, as always, thank you very much for speaking with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.